Now the first thing I want you to understand is the meaning of standard deviation. Because many times when we take math concept, we think they are just meant for textbooks. No, standard deviation is very important in researches. Now what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is how far the values of a data deviate from the mean. Now let me try to explain this with an illustration. Now take for example, if you found out that the mean age in your class is 12 years. So this is the mean age. If I'm told that the standard deviation of the ages in your class is 3, I can tell that the ages of students in your class would be between 12 minus 3 and 12 plus 3 years. It can be lower than that, it can be higher than that. Does that make sense? So now some students can be 9 years, some can be 10, some 11, we can have 12, we can have 13, we can have 14 years, we can have 15, and that's it. So we can't have 8 years because 8 years will be minus 4. We can't have 17 years because it will be plus 5. Do you understand? So standard deviation helps me to understand the spread of the data. So if you tell me that the standard deviation is, take for example 5, I know that we can have ages minus 5 of the mean or plus 5 of the mean age. Does that make sense? So standard deviation is very important because it helps us to understand the spread of the data. Now the next thing you want to know is what is the formula for standard deviation. So the formula for standard deviation is square root of variance. Pretty simple. Standard deviation equals to square root of variance. And what is variance? Variance equals to, remember we said standard deviation is how far to the left or to the right a set of values is from the mean. So we are going to be having x minus x bar. Remember x is the value, x bar, we know x bar as the symbol for mean. Does that make sense? Square all over n. And then let me have a summation here to make you understand that you have to add them up. Now this is the formula you need to remember. Standard deviation equals to square root of variance. Variance equals to summation x minus x bar square all over n. Now can we take some examples? Now this is very simple. Now all you need to do is to remember the formula for standard deviation. Remember, standard deviation equals to square root of variance. From the question, we know that our variance equals to 102. So standard deviation equals to square root of 102. So standard deviation equals to, what's the square root of 102? Approximately 10.1. And here's the answer. Is this not pretty simple? Let's take another question. So we have this question, calculate the standard deviation of the set of data 7821453. Now let's solve this. So we should have, the first thing you want to remember is the formula for standard deviation, square root of variance. I hope you've not forgotten. Now variance equals to summation x minus x bar square all over n. Now remember, n is the number of terms, x are the values you are given, x bar is the mean, x bar is a symbol for mean. I hope you've not forgotten. So we've got to find the mean first. So what's the formula for mean? Sum of numbers given. I hope you've not forgotten. Numbers given. Now if you're writing in the exam, write numbers in full, all over total numbers given. Does this make sense? I hope you still remember this. So let's do this. So we have x bar equals to, so we add all these numbers given. 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 3. Make sure you did not make any mistake. All over, how many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All over 8. So we should be having x bar equals to 7 plus 8 is 15, plus 2 is 17, plus 1 is 18, plus 4 22, plus 5 27, plus 2 29, plus 3 32. So we have 32 all over 8. So let's solve the remaining here. So we should be having x bar equals to 32 over 8 should give us 4. Now we know x bar, which is our main, is 4. Now we've got to slot it into the variance formula. Now I think I need to rub off so we can get space. So don't forget our x bar equals to 4, and the formula for variance equals to summation x minus x bar square all over n. Now look at what I'm going to do. So let's get the variance. Now this x is each of these values here, and our x bar is what? 4. And summation means you need to add them. Now watch. X 7 minus x bar 4 squared. Because of this summation I add. Next value 8. Do you understand? Minus 4 squared plus 2 minus 4 square plus the next digit 1 minus 4 square plus 4 minus 4 square plus 5 minus 4 square plus 2 minus 4 square plus 3 minus 4 square. Does this make sense? Now all over, remember n is the number of terms and we've got 8 terms, so all over 8. So it means variance equals to 7 minus 4 is 3, so I have 3 square, plus 8 minus 4 is 4, 4 square, plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2, minus 2 square, plus 1 minus 4 is minus 3, minus 3 square, plus 4 minus 4 is 0, 0 square, plus 5 minus 4 is 1, 1 square, plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2, minus 2 square, plus 3 minus 4 is minus 1, minus 1 square, all over 8. Does this make sense? So we are having variance equals to 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, minus 2 square is 4. Remember, minus times minus is plus, so we are going to have plus. Then I have plus minus 3 square should give me 9, plus 0 square 0, 1 square 1, minus 2 square 4, and then minus 1 square 1, all over 8. So we have all over 8. Does this make sense? So we should be having variance equals to 9 plus 16 is 25, 25 plus 4 29, 29 plus 9 should give us 38, 38 plus 0 is 38, 38 plus 1 39, 39 plus 4 should give us 43, 43 plus 1 should give us 44. So we have 44 all over 8. So variance equals to 44 divided by 8. 8 in 44 should give us 5, remainder 4. 8 in 40 should give us 5. So variance equals to 5.5. Remember, standard deviation equals to square root of variance. So standard deviation equals to square root of 5.5. So we have standard deviation equals to approximately 2.35. And here's our answer.